What is good, YouTube? Coming at you with yet another daily space weather video. This is the view from the GO 16 SUVI. We've got some plasma instability happening up in this area here. It could be the predecessor to a coronal mass ejection. We've also got sunspots approaching the limb. That increases the likelihood of solar flares. And we've got this sunspot down here, which has gained some magnetic complexity. It's now a beta gamma class sunspot group. So likelihood of flares goes up, although solar activity in general has gone down a little bit. The 10.7 centimeter radial flux now only at 121 solar flux units. NOAA is forecasting some geomagnetic unrest due to a coronal hole high-speed stream late in the day tomorrow on the 25th and early in the day on Sunday, June 26th. Just about 16 hours of geomagnetic unrest expected. This is the last 4 hours of Earth geospace, the magnetohydrodynamic pressure surrounding the planet. Things pretty calm geomagnetically speaking. Next we'll look at ground magnetic perturbations. We show it daily. The data is not accessible via archives, so we document about 4 hours of it daily on the channel. Again, things quite calm here in terms of geospace delta B. That's changes to Earth's B field. And last I checked, the planetary K index was at 0. We'll get to that next. So things quite calm here. We are expecting some enhanced geomagnetic activity from a coronal hole high-speed stream. There's your KP index. KP index at 0 at the moment. KP 0. It's a geomagnetic extremely calm condition. Looking at the real-time solar wind to see a diminishing solar wind speed and density. Solar wind density all the way down to about 3 protons per cubic centimeter. Solar wind speed approaching 400 kilometers per second. So it's pretty slow and it's pretty diffuse at the moment. Next, moving into magnetic data, here's your GOES magnetometers. And that's the last 3 days of measurements from those. Next, the heliospheric current sheet. Earth remains in a south pole current sheet. And that could be changing in the coming days. We will keep you posted on that on the channel. Here's your line of sight field plot. This shows the sun's B field in blue. North polar fields in green, south polar fields in red. Next, move into coronal holes. We've got a little bit of a reduction of coronal holes here. Let's take a look at those from the NASA GOES SUVI. This is the 193 angstroms view. Should be the past 2 hours if all goes well. Again, we do have some plasma instability happening up here. That could be a coronal mass ejection happening as we record the video. Again, we've got some new sunspots forming around down here associated with sunspot 3040. Unfortunately, we can't show you any views from the SDO because of a power outage caused by a fire at the Stanford campus. So power outages suck. I know nobody likes them, but looks like things might be clearing up out there, a lot less now. Still significant number of people out, about 10,000 custies out of power in Virginia. So we do have some current data for you here, of course, from Udaipur, India. There's your intensity gram. And again, you can see that there is some new umbral activity here in the leading portion of sunspot 3040. That increases the likelihood of solar flares from it, and the approach to the limb increases the likelihood of solar flares from this group here. I think that's 3038. So despite slightly diminished solar activity here, we do still see a strong likelihood of major solar flares. Here it is from El Teide, Spain. El Teide, Spain's magnetogram view. And you can see that additional complexity happening here around sunspot 3040. Next, checking out the GOES X-ray flux. Some C-class flares here happening over the past couple of days, and you can see if you look at the 7-day chart, you can see a gradual diminishing. Oh, that's a great chart. 7-day chart showing a gradual diminishing here of the X-ray output. And that's what you would expect as sunspots set on the western limb. Again, likelihood of flares rather high here, especially as sunspot 3038 moves into a setting mode. We don't see any proton events happening. And here's the GOES 16 SUVI imagery in 94 angstroms. Again, keep an eye on this area right here. There may be a coronal mass ejection occurring as we record the video. We'll show the latest coronagraphs here in a moment. First, a star chart. That's what's going on above my head in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. If you want to create your own, head to in-the-sky.org, put in your location, and click on Charts. This is the all-sky chart. Mine faces to the south. That's the direction in which the ecliptic and you can see the ecliptic drawn in here. It's this yellow line. Of course, if you're up before dawn, you may see this planetary pileup that's causing people to think planets are going to kill them. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Moon, Venus, and Mercury all rising ahead of the sun. So here's what's going on in the solar system. And keep in mind that's not to scale. We're going to show you the 1-week forecast. Again, I don't care what charlatans on YouTube have to say about it. The planets are not going to kill you. Here's the 1-week forecast as we approach a new moon. In 7 days, we will have a crescent waxing. We would show you additional coronagraph imagery, but we've got broken links. So we are going to show you the view from Stereo A and from the Soho-Lasco C3. So here you go. In the past couple of days, we don't see any CMEs directed toward Earth. Most of the data is there from Stereo A. That's the last few hours. And as you can see here from the Soho-Lasco C3, it's not loading. And we're just going to show the latest imagery here. That's the last few hours there on the Soho-Lasco C3. And if you're a new viewer, the Soho-Lasco C3 is located here between Earth and Sun at Lagrange 1. Stereo A here on the left. Over here, that's located at Lagrange 5. If you enjoy the content, press like and subscribe. Pardon the lack of data today. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitch. We regularly stream live. A great screensaver is when we stream the sun all day long. If you want to support the channel, become a member of the Smash Team at smashomash.com/Smash Team. Thanks to Gold and Silver Smash Team members especially. Look for a credit crawl coming back soon. You can also join us on Patreon. Today's featured product is Mensa, which stands for Make Earth Not Suck Again. So we've been doing our part to make Earth not suck again, making videos like this one to cite things like facts, and continue operating the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. I know there's a lot of nonsense, fraud, propaganda, and crap on YouTube. We don't put out any of that. And we encourage you to make Earth not suck again, since it's up to you. Start a conversation. Pick up some of this fresh-looking merch. You can find links below the video, as well as on our homepage at smashomash.com. We are still in the process of writing a paper plausibly explaining the solar polar field reversal and solar sunspot cycles. We've already released most of the information to our gold level members. If you want to know about that, join up at smashomash.com/Smash Team at the gold level. You'll have access to posts that only gold level Smash Team members are able to see. So welcome to the Neo Renaissance. We're going to close out with our GOES 16 SUVI thematic map. You can see some prominences happen here, some bright regions. Again, this sunspot 3040 has indeed increased in complexity, raising the likelihood of solar flares. It's about where we have to end things today at the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. May that solar wind be at your back.